something. All right, so hello everyone, and welcome to a daily dose of hope. Daily dose of hope, day 166. So I've been trying to come on almost every day in order to bring a daily dose of hope. And what that is that the energies on our planet are starting to increase, and as they do, things start to get wackier and wackier. And are the subtle energies. So our world is made up of all of these things that we see in front of us, right? We see, like, my hand is here, or we have our clothes, or a car, or a house. But everything that we see started out as an idea. Right. So just like things in your life, if you're about to do something, I'm going to go somewhere, I'm going to buy something. First, there's the thought. You think, I want to buy that. And then you plan, you get the money, and then you go to the store or you go online and you buy it. So it started with a thought. You created it first as a thought, and then you did the action. So everything that happens on our planet happens that way. It all starts from inside. So everything that we see is just the end result of a thought. So the thought comes first. And the thoughts, that is the realm of subtle energies. That's the realm of the energies that I'm talking about. And so um, subtle energies are things. So, for example, for myself, a few years ago, when I didn't really feel these energies, I would see people talking about it and say, what are they talking about? What is this energy stuff? I don't know what they're talking about. But when I started getting deep into meditation, that's when I started to be able to find. So when you get quiet a few times a day or more than that, you start to be able to tune into that. When you shut out all of the outside stuff, all of the stuff that's already been created, and then you go into that inside state. And that inside state's kind of like in between dream and waking. So that is, and then you're able to access those subtle energies. And so when I talk about the energies on our planet, I'm talking about those energies. But those energies will affect people's actions. So when those energies increase more, many people will be affected by them. And if you're not aware of them, if you're not aware that you're feeling them, you will just maybe find yourself doing impulsive things, or going somewhere impulsively, or getting angry for no reason, getting sad for no reason. And that's the subtle energies working on you. But if you're aware of them, then you can say, this is not my emotion, this is not my energy. There's no reason for me to be angry at this moment. And so I'm going to question, where did this come from? And so that's what I'm talking about, the energies on our planet increasing. And the idea of portals, the way that I understand them is it's in a sense, this is all internal stuff. This is subtle energy, subtle ideas. This is not like an actual doorway. Well, it is, but it's not something that we would see with our physical eyes at the moment, at least. But it's more of a subtle energy concept where there's rising up of energies, and the portals means that the portals means that there is a bigger amount of that energy coming through, at least in my understanding of it. And so also so the reason I'm telling all this is I'm just responding to a comment and trying to explain a little bit more about what I'm talking about, right? Because I understand it can seem really weird if you're not familiar with all of this stuff. And then when I talk about they, who is they, right? I'm talking about, so there's that idea of the yin and the yang, right? There's two sides, right? There's the dark side and the light side of the yin and the yang, right? And then there's a little dot in each one. And that's how our third dimension is working. It works on polarities. So we have both sides, and that gives us a lot of different experience. So when I talk about they, who's they, I'm talking about the ones that are working on the other side. And so by the whole concept that I'm talking about, is based on the idea that there are two sides. Now, for the longest time, I didn't think there were two sides. I thought there's just love and there's just light and it's all wonderful. But I realized more and more that there are both sides, and there are people that are working on both sides, understanding what they're doing. and they're doing it on purpose. And so it's important to accept this. Well, it's not, you don't have to accept it, but it's just the way that I see the universe or the world is based on that yin and yang symbol. Yeah, there's both sides. And it's not like, there's bad people out there, it's bad. No, it's just that is our experience. And that is the polarization that we're experiencing now, because we're being shown this yin and yang symbol in all the polarity that we see in our news and in the mass media. It's all there. It's all there for us to see. So when I talk about I'm talking about those that are working on the other side of the yin and yang symbol, the ones that are not following necessarily their heart. You know, following. So I guess you could think of it as heart or ego. Are you following your heart or are you following your ego? Are you following, your selfish self that just, I want that, I want that, I'm going to get this, I'm going to be like a god on this world? Or are you following your heart? I want peace, I want love, I want everyone to get along. Which side are you on? And that's all. That's what I'm talking about. And then what happened, for example, at the Olympics then becomes, you can put that into reference, because what happened at the Olympics? So the way that I would see it is that, think of the Olympics, all of these young, vibrant, young sportsmen are out there trying really hard, and they're doing these beautiful movements and acrobatic movements, and they're doing amazing things, right? And they're so strong, they're so pure, they're so trying so hard. But then the opening and closing ceremonies seem very different. What do they have to do with the sport? We're just watching these young people who have been practicing for 2 years, 4 years, however long, with their whole lives, of course, spending their whole lives, putting their whole lives into this, and it's just a pure, sport. That's it. But they have these opening and closing ceremonies that seem to have nothing to do with it. And so when asked the question, what happened in those opening and closing ceremonies, that's up to your, what do you think, basically? I mean, I'm not here to tell anyone what you think happened, but you use your discernment. But all I'm saying is that there was something, from my discernment, there was something a bit dark about it. And that didn't it didn't jive with all the sportsmen doing all this wonderful sports, trying so hard. It just seemed strange. And uh, I would, maybe a few years ago, I would say that, that's just modern art. It's just someone being really creative. And but the more that I've seen, it's different. And so, so the idea of this subtle energy, so we can create this subtle energy as well. So for example, my pocket of peace, I'm trying to create subtle energy. I'm trying to put peace out there into the mass consciousness. And so when you do that, you are putting peace into the mass consciousness, and you are creating peace, and you are uploading peace into yourself. So you are creating peace. So you're creating the thought. And so by the same token, those kind of darker things that it seemed that they were doing at the Olympics are also doing the same thing. They are creating something, and they are using your imagination. So if you're not aware of the subtle energies, they will just come into your subconscious, because it's very beautiful. It's very wonderfully done. The music's good. Everything's colorful. And so if you're kind of like watching it, kind of, wow, then it just goes right into your subconscious. And then the seed is planted. And then you, if you're not conscious of what you're doing, will create that for them being the people that are working on the other side of the yin and yang symbol. And so that's how the world is created. Everything came from a thought, right? In the first, from the Bible, there was the word, right? First there was the word, right? So first there was the thought. It comes from a thought. Everything comes from this idea. Everything comes from the subtle realm in that sense. All of this stuff is just the end result of all of this stuff that we've thought about. Our lives as well. Like for example, I chose somehow to move to Japan. It wasn't that I just ended up here one day. I chose it. There was a thought. I had to make that decision in that thought. And so that's where it came from. And so this is the end result. So we're kind of in that sense living in the past. So yeah, that's my explanation. I hope it's not too esoteric and strange, but just trying to explain and that I understand it. But this stuff can seem very woo-woo if you're not really used to it, or and that's fine as well. It's if it doesn't resonate with you, doesn't jive with you, that's fine. That's um, just the nature of that, and and that's fine. You're using your discernment. So if it doesn't resonate with you, that means, yeah, then maybe it's not for you, or in that sense, yeah, and that's fine as well. For me, like, I think a few, maybe 10 years ago, if I was watching, for example, watching myself, I'd be like, what is he talking about? Turn this off. So yeah. So that's my little spiel. I think I might be cut off here on Rumble. I'm not sure, but let me check if it's working. No, okay, seems to be working. Okay, so I'm just going to go into a channeling now, and what I do when I go into a channeling is I step my consciousness, I kind of step aside a bit and I allow a being to come through. But what I do before I do these channelings is I do a lot of clearing work, so that my frequency is really high. So I do a lot of singing, using my Tibetan bowl and singing, getting my energy as high as it can be, because everything's about a frequency match. And so I just call in my guides to come in and to give us a message for today, day 166. Yeah, what do they have to say today? What's their message? Here we go. Greetings. We are that one that you know of as Yeshua, and we're here with all of you, always with all of you. We are around you at all times, showering all of you with love, trying the best that we can in that sense to bring down the love and to show you that the love is all around you and that you are the love, that you bring the love. You're bringing the love to this situation, to all of the situations that you see. And you're such beautiful, beautiful beings, especially at this moment now when your world is very polarized and you're in this polarized time, yet you are holding down the fort, you might say. You're holding down the love. You're creating the love, and you are demonstrating that it's possible in these polarized times to be in love and to be in peace and to be in neutrality. You are showing that you are way showers. And as way showers, you have a very, very important job that is very difficult. It would be very easy to go into the polarities, to go into fear and to go into anger. It would be very easy to go into the sadness. It's very, very easy. Those slopes are so slippery and they look so beautiful on the surface. But the deeper that you go, the harder it is to come back up to the place of neutrality. And so we admire what all of you are doing by keeping yourselves in this neutral point in these polarized times. We are that one that you know of as Yeshua. All right. And then for the final part, I'd like to just go into a oh, I think I might be frozen, but I'm not sure if I'm frozen. So I'm frozen. We'll see. So I'm going to go into what is called a pocket of peace, which is a guided meditation to help to bring this subtle energy of peace and of love to the world, so that everyone else can experience it. So we can do just the same thing that the Olympics, for example, the ceremonies were doing. We can bring the love, we can bring peace, we can bring the happiness as well. This is something that all of us can do. I'm no one special. This is just all you have to do is just bring the love. And so here we go. So I'd like you guys to please take a 3 deep breaths. On the in breath, breathe in the light of unconditional love. Hold on. On the in breath, breathe in the light of unconditional love. Hold it for a few seconds, enjoy that energy, and then breathe out all that stuff that you don't need anymore. Hold on. All right, so here we go. So breathe in the light of unconditional love. Hold it for a few seconds. Breathe out all that stuff that you don't need anymore. Okay? Breathe in the light of unconditional love. Hold it for a few seconds. Breathe out all that stuff that you don't need anymore. Then one more time. Breathe in the light of unconditional love. Hold it for a few seconds. Breathe out all that stuff that you don't need anymore. All right. So then I'd like you guys to imagine that you're surrounded by this mist of unconditional love. Just like a warm blanket, it just surrounds you. It just comforts you, and it makes you feel like you're okay. Like there's nothing that you have to do. There's nowhere that you have to go. There's no worry about the future. There's no regret about the past. There's just this beautiful now, right now, right now. There's all those things that you might be worrying about, all those things you might be regretting. They're not there with you at this moment, in this second. In this second, there's just love, because this second is outside of time. This is not inside time. So when we get outside of time, we experience love, unconditional love, which is our birthright, which is what we came down here with. So I'd like you to just imagine that this unconditional love is surrounding you and caressing you, and it just sees you exactly as you are, and it loves you and accepts you, understands you for everything that you are, everything that you've done, everything that you are. It sees it all as beautiful. It sees you all. You are love. You're made of love. Everything on this planet is made of love. You are all made of love. Anything that it is not made of love is just in denial about the fact that it is made of love. And so just extend this energy out into the rest of your room, into the town that you're in. Imagine everything in your room is just lit up by love and hope and peace. So everything that you see just gives you hope. And then just expand that energy out into the town that you're in. So everything in the town is just covered with love and covered with peace. And all the people too, they're starting to say, yeah, I feel really good. I just feel this lightness now. I felt so heavy before, but now I feel light. I feel good. I just feel hopeful. I feel it's almost as if we're like in a different generation, some golden generation where everything looked bright in the future, and we had everything that we needed, and we knew where we're going, and everything just felt so good. And that's where we're at right now. It just feels wonderful. Even though there's no physical thing that's showing us that, we just feel that energy. And if we feel that energy, then the only thing that can happen is that will come out. We'll start to see that energy around us. So just see everyone around you just covered with this light of unconditional love, and just so relaxed, and just saying, I feel really good. Look at that car. Look at that sky. Look at that train. Look at that taxi. Look at that restaurant. Look at that mall. Everything is just love now. Everything I see is just filled with love, and all the people are filled with love. And they see me filled with love, and I see them filled with love. We just feel this intense sense of love. This is what I've been searching for my whole life, and it's right here. I didn't have to go anywhere to get it. It's just right inside me. So this love, all it does, it just lights the candle of everyone else's hearts, and it just lets them remember that they're loved too. So that's all you're doing. We're just lighting the candles of everyone's hearts around the world. We have this spotlight that we're shining out, and just imagine this love, love, love. Everyone's feeling it, and it just feels good. Everyone just feels like they're at home. It's just such a gentle feeling, and just a feeling of just complete and utter happiness. So, all right, guys. So that's Daily Dose of Hope for day 166. It's almost 10 o'clock here, Japan time, and on Wednesday, August 14th. And I hope you are all hopeful. I hope I didn't freeze anywhere in between in this, but we'll see. So anyway, so ciao for now. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.